What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
And guess what? We're back at it again, answering more questions in another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can with a super thanks. If you do, ask us anything and we'll guaranteed answer it in the next episode. This isn't really a question, but it's a statement from what we've talked about in the past, or a question that we got from the past. King MC says, or MCF says, MCF2 says, I had a Warhammer Plus and it was a major disappointment. Sad that they have animations for tabletop models but don't have animations for their lore masters. Would have been better and a great draw into the lore if there were animated lore episodes about the topic at hand. So yes, Warhammer Plus is a controversy in and of itself, in that it's not giving what I think the expectation is. But we've gotten 2 new trailers.
Yes, we got a basically part 2 to the Salamanders fighting against the Necrons in the Pariah Nexus, which seems to be that same type of animation that was used for the 9th edition and the 10th edition trailers. So expect more of that. And we've also got a little tease into something else.
Death from above. There's a phobia of seeing things underwater. I think there probably is some type of phobia of seeing massive things in the sky. Because that's what it was. It's basically Space Marines on jump packs, right?
Or no, it's the Elysian drop troops.
Oh, really?
That's what I thought.
And they're flying down, and then all of a sudden, through the clouds, they break, and you see huge cannons. I was like, whoa, kind of scary.
Yeah, so that's really interesting because we're going to be getting another animation with probably equal like CGI type. And it looks to be about the Elysian drop troops, or maybe it is Space Marine on jump packs, going down into some type of like war-torn world.
I hope it's orcs. I hope that's the guns of a Gargant. But if it was, I think maybe we would have heard like roars or something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
The other thing, too, is that since we got that kind of timeline leaked for 40K to see what the releases are, maybe this means that the Imperium or the Astra Militarum Codex is coming out soon, and the new models that they're getting is those jetpack troopers.
Yeah, and then they're going to coincide and either give us a full trailer or give us the first episodes on Warhammer Plus.
Yeah.
So does that mean that in the future, Warhammer Plus is going to become a better, I guess, resource or whatever?
Probably not. It's not. Like, come on. When you think about it, it's been out for, what, at least 2 years?
Yeah.
And you could binge watch everything in a month and be like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
And it's not even that good stuff. Like MCF was saying, like, you have lore masters, which is basically what every lore YouTuber does on YouTube, but without like animations. I think you're just hearing the writers talk about these factions. Yeah. And like we've seen GW put out better content than this. So yeah, very lackluster for Warhammer Plus.
You know what I would like to see from Warhammer Plus in terms of lore? Game of Thrones did this thing where, like, in the voice of each actor, they explain their house. And then they have, like, really cool animation. If we got something like that for 40K, it would be awesome. Like, you just have to have, like, the voice of a salamander talking about the Promethean cult, talking about Vulcan, and talking about that kind of stuff. That, even if it's only, like, 5-7 minutes long, which I think the Game of Thrones clips are that long too, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Something like that would be pretty cool. And like you don't even have to make it completely CGI animated. Like you could get away with some stills or just a little bit of animation and it could still look really badass.
Yeah. But yeah, good question. Next one.
This is a reply to us saying that when we play 40K games, they take too long. And sometimes we say that around turn 3 is when the game should end. So Saint Sin says, why would you shorten it to only 3 turns? You could end on turn 3 if you want now. For everyone else who eats before playing, let them play until the games end. I would have won so many games if it looked like I was going to lose on turn 3.
Maybe, but that doesn't happen with our group. And that's the thing. Like, I think the level of your playing level in comparison to other playing levels of different groups is obviously different. I don't ever see a change in the outcome after turn 3 within the group that we play. And I think part of that is that we make really bad mistakes in the beginning. So I guess we could argue, or you could argue that, oh, you guys are just shitty players, get better.
Yeah.
Which is true. But at the same time, if this is a game for us to have fun with, and we stop having fun after turn 3, why continue? You know?
Yeah, you're just drawing out the game for another, hour?
Yeah. And I think part of the problem too isn't even so much that like we know the outcome of the future, but moving the models, shooting, like there's just too much time that elapses. So maybe if we had a timer and said like you only have 5 minutes to get through your entire turn, I think that would be different.
It'd be very hard if you're playing like orcs or nids, because that's a whole bunch of models you got to move.
Well, that's why you guys got to let me just push my orcs up.
They're moving 8 inches, not 6. But yeah, that's one of the things that like I was watching a video of like what are the hot takes that you guys have when you're playing the game 40K, and a lot of people said that like you want the turns to go faster. So how do you improve that? Play faster. Like don't overanalyze, don't pre-measure everything. Sometimes you just got to go with your gut and just do it.
True, but then at the same time, I think for those players that are better players, they need that time to think.
True, but at the same time, like you're supposed to be in this like battlefield. You're not gonna have time because look at like chess players, aren't they on a time?
They are, yeah.
So that we could kind of do something like that where it's like, okay, everybody has 5 minutes per turn. Do as much as you can and say, okay, so I finished at 4 minutes instead of 5. Now you have that extra minute that you could put on other turns to kind of give you more information.
Oh, we should try that then.
Yeah, because I feel like if turn 1, if you're not going to move, hey, spend that time on turn 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's true. Because then first, second turn would probably, you'll use all of it up. Mm-hmm. But then saving it for later when there's less models on the board would be helpful.
Yeah, especially when you have those turns where it's like, well, shoot, everything's in combat. I got to play out this combat. I'm going to run out of time. It's a good thing that you just ran up the board turn 1 and 2 so that you don't have to worry about that time that you're missing out on.
Yeah, true. Good question. Next one comes from The Big One. If there was a 40K themed breakfast cereal, what would it be called? I'm going to go with the Emperor's Honey Booty Smacks.
I haven't had smacks in a long time.
I don't even know what those are.
Honey smacks with the frog? Oh. You never had that?
No, I don't think so. I've never been a big cereal person, so this is going to be kind of hard. Like I remember s'mores, Reese's Puff.
Peanut butter chocolate flavor.
There you go. But other than that, like Corn Flakes, Frosted Flakes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the obvious one is Corn Flakes.
Yeah, corn, as in the blood god, Corn Flakes. I've seen some about Tao, Frankenberry, blueberry type stuff.
Where you get like the different flavors of the different casts. Blue is air cast. Brown or orange could be earth. What's the other
Red,
one?
fire cast.
Yeah.
Clear, air cast.
Yeah.
Clear cereal.
Or like Kix. Kix had like yellow.
Yeah. Kix.
I remember Kix. Kix was good.
Mm-hmm. Still, none of it beats Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I hate cinnamon.
Really? You don't like horchata?
Sneeze. No, I don't like horchata. I don't like anything cinnamon. Let us know what your favorite 40K cereal would be. Next question comes from HR Watch. Can you put these in order from what happens next? This is going to be really difficult because I'll read all of them. So first, Nids reach the Sol System. Number 2, Abaddon stops messing around and puts Terra under siege. C, another Primarch returns. D, a brand new faction gets introduced. And E, we get a 5th Chaos God.
So I think the one that we're closest to right now is probably A, the Tyranids reach the Sol System. Because aren't they already here?
Technically, the Gene Stealer cult is there, yeah.
All right, so I guess that one's first.
Yes.
And then Abaddon stops messing around and puts Terra under siege. We're really close to that too, because you had the whole Arcs of Omen with him trying to find the keys to unlock this like super weapon. So I think that might be probably what pushes C to happen, which is a Primarch returning, because it seems whenever Abaddon does a big push, you had Gilliman reawakened, you had the Lion returning, so probably another push towards Terra is what's going to cause, who would you say, Lehman Russ to come back?
Lehman Russ, because then that would be the Wolfen Times, which is the End Times, and the End Times would create the birth of
the new Chaos God.
the Emperor as the new Chaos
Is
God.
a new Chaos God. And then we get a new faction with the Emperor and his Legion of the Light and the Legion of the Damned coming back to become a new faction.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
Also, I think Abaddon technically has already put Terra under siege with the Cicatrix Maledictum and his, what's his name? Angron invading.
Angron invading and causing the murder curse.
Yeah. So, that was a good one. Next question.
This one is by Brian B. How often do you guys... Whoa!
Every morning, if I have a hot jardiniere the night before... Not on an Italian beef, just hot jardinera, just like that. I will WAAAGH in the morning, the next morning.
Yeah, I think that's a good reason too, because you got to expel the au sauce.
Yeah. See, that's why I don't like cinnamon, because those cinnamon coats my stomach in like this protective thing. No, I want full acidity in my stomach so that the next morning I could WAAAGH properly.
And not just that, but like after you spit, since the acidity is there, you're kind of like a space marine.
Yeah, spitting fire. Oh no, it's acid.
They spit acid, but I think there's, what is it, the Firehawks?
Yep.
They have that gene C deficiency that allows them to spit fire.
Yeah, maybe not the Firehawks, because those are the ones that turn into the...
Oh, the Legion of the Damned.
Yeah.
Yeah, but something like that.
Yeah. So
That'd be crazy to be able to spit fire. It's like, yo, it's time for a breakdance battle.
Oh, did you see the
Yeah, I think
Australian
everybody's seen that.
breakdancing chick?
From what I heard is like she conned the Australian government to give her a free like trip to the Olympics. Cuz like she just had a PhD in like hip hop studies or something wild like that. And like from what I heard, her defense was like, "Oh yeah, like all those moves were original."
I mean, technically they are. So I guess she didn't really con anybody, because it's true. It's just shitty, right?
And then I saw like the finals and I was just like, "Oh shit." Like this is what it should have been.
I didn't know like b-boy. Yeah, I think it's called b-boying was that big still.
Yeah, but this is the first year it's actually been an Olympic sport.
That's what is it? 30 years too late, guys.
Hopefully we'll get Warhammer on the Olympics soon.
Yeah. And then last question. Do you have one? I have one from Game Dude. One small thing Games Workshop confirmed is that the Grey Knights have a post-December codex coming. I think with the Fulgrim returning, the Death Watch and the Grey Knights will be the Imperium side with small codex, maybe new models. So we got a leak of a schedule of codexes, and yes, the Grey Knights are next year during... It's not winter, it's
Is it
fall,
fall?
right?
Yeah.
Or not fall, spring.
Was it spring?
I think
That
it was
quick?
spring, yeah.
Oh, okay. Whatever it is, I know it was like Grey Knights and World Eaters were like at the same time.
Yeah.
Which they're also rumored to have the Emperor's Children next year, but the leak didn't have that.
No, it didn't, no.
So...
I mean, the leak is probably wrong, but,
right, but
it's a leak. Right? Yeah, hopefully with the Death Watch comes new bad guys, and those new bad guys will be Fulgrim, Emperor's Children.
That's true. So, I don't know. Fingers crossed. Hopefully Grey Knights, Death Watch get what they deserve, considering they did not get that in that Inquisitor Agents Codex.
Yeah.
And I'm really interested to see if Fulgrim is coming back, how different his sculpt is going to be from the 30K one. Because he just got a really badass sculpt revealed for the Horus Heresy, and I don't know, I feel like it's going to be almost a mirror image.
Yeah, or hopefully they do some different pose. I wouldn't mind if they just said, use this model for the Fulgrim.
Yeah, but I mean, they're going to want to push another model to get people to buy it.
Yeah, that's going to be carbon copy of the other one. Just with like different faces, maybe.
I don't know. We'll see.
Check out the previous episode when we talked about the Space Marine controversy. Because guess what? Games Workshop is just giving us the same minis with a tiny little twist. But those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening and hanging out, and we'll talk tomorrow.
That's right. As always, it's been the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
And we are out of here.
Oh, what if you took my freedom back?